Hello everyone, welcome to Dark Fae Tarot. You are joining me on New Year's Eve. Welcome to new subscribers, welcome back to those who already know me. It has been a very chilly few days in Brussels. We hit about -5 a few days ago and we're hovering around the 0 Celsius mark, and yeah, it's apparently we have snow coming in, but I think it won't be so bad. So anyway, fingers crossed we have hopefully a bit more of a mild January, but let's see. Again, so welcome to everybody that's joining me, and we are on New Year's Eve 2025. So I am joining in the end of year tag. That's from Chantal Days. Thank you so much for this tag. I join in every year. I wanted to jump in again this year. I think it's just a great way to wrap up the year. I might do another video in the next couple of days to do with 2025, but I'll see how that goes. But other than that, I thought I would film today. And yes, you are joining me looking a little bit vampiric, because that's the mood I was in. That's what I was going for. And as far as New Year's Eve goes, I don't know what it is, but at some point in my mid-30s, I think I just got into, I can't be bothered. You know, it was cold, wet, cobbled streets, frozen feet, thinking about my poor cat at home, watching some fireworks. I don't know what it was like, and there's something about New Year's Eve that feels like it's overhyped, and then the reality is underwhelming for me anyway. And I think some other people sometimes have said that, but that's been my experience. And the more I spent New Year's Eve at home, the more I've really actually enjoyed it. So anyway, this is one of those. I don't have Fur Baby anymore with me anyway. You know, he's passed, he's crossed over to the Rainbow Bridge. But I think I will be welcoming another fur baby, hopefully in 2026. But other than that, let's get on with the end of year tag for 2025, and let's see what I have lined up for you. And I will try to be as brief as possible. So the very first prompt is a deck that you loved using the most this year. So this was a deck that I'd already opened a few years ago when I bought it. I fell in love, and then I was saving it. And if you see me reaching and looking a bit strange, it's because all the decks have actually literally been lined up behind the tripod here right in front of me. So anyway, yeah, so this deck, let me show you, is a deck that I just knew that I loved. And then I saved it, and then 2025 spring, I think it was in spring, I got it out. And that is, of course, my Celtic Dragon. This is an out-of-print deck. The guidebook is by DJ Conway, and the artwork is Lisa Hunt. I do have a couple of backups of this deck because I fell in love as soon as I opened it. And I think it was at the end of 2023 when I actually had purchased this deck. And I knew it was going, and I purchased it, then I found out it was going out of print. And then I bought a couple of more copies. So I do have backups because I love this deck. So it comes with this huge guidebook, which we won't go into. I've done a review, so I'm going to try and make sure that I add those cards to this video. Sorry, excuse me. But here is the deck. Look at this deck. It's just beautiful. Beautiful artwork by Lisa Hunt. Just gorgeous. I won't show you every card, but you get the idea. Lisa Hunt, I mean, you know, dare I say, you know, as a creative force, I mean, it's the attention to detail, it's the color palettes, it's the softness, but, you know, each and every card, and you'll see this more if you saw the review of this deck, it's just that her drawings come with very, very fine artwork, which she does meticulously, and I know it takes her a very long time to do each painting. And I had paired it with, and if you just give me a moment, I was just thinking, where is the pairing to this deck though? And I'm looking all around, and I'm thinking, where did I put the pairing there? Oh, I've just found it. Hold on a moment. See, this is why this video is going to be very interesting. It's going to be me hopping up and down quite a bit. But the pairing to this is the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. Now, I also paired it with, I'll tell you which one I paired it with also, was the deck For the Love Dragons. Both decks, the Fairy Wisdom Oracle and For the Love Dragons, both have Amy Brown as the artist. So, you know, you're looking at basically similar art, whichever decks. But I loved the drawings in this deck. I mean, just look at these. So I would pair these together. So, for example, Here we have an example of how they look at, what is that? That I think is the Eight of Wands. Yeah, it's Eight of Wands and Shaman. And you can see how beautiful they look together. And if you go into the review, you'll see more of these absolutely stunning pairings. Here we have Fire Dance. And here we have, what do I have here? I've just grabbed something. Four of Pentacles, Four of Coins. So yeah, I just found this pairing to be absolutely stunning. I love pairing my decks. And if you really want to see how they kind of like worked better together, also with For the Love of Dragons, another fabulous oracle, go and check out the review of the Celtic Dragon. But yeah, this was a deck that I really loved using. And I had been like wanting to work with this deck for some time. And then I just thought spring 2025, thought this is the time. You know, this deck, I think, is very, very special. It's sad that it's gone out of print, so I'm sorry if you haven't got it and you did want to get it, you know. But Lisa Hunt has other tarot decks. She's done, you know, the re-release of the Fairy Tarot, which, you know, is a big hit. She's also got the Pastoral Tarot. There's also her Lenormand. She's got a few decks. There's also one that's a fantasy creature kind of deck. And again, her artwork is just absolutely stunning. So it's worth looking out for those. So I'm going to put these to the side, to the back, because to be quite honest with you, I don't have enough space on this desk. Okay, so the next prompt is the most recent addition to your to my collection. And of course, this is a deck that everybody's got, I think, right now. It's called the Midscapes Tarot. I went and picked it up as well. It's by John A. Rice. And cover art is John A. Rice. So yeah, I think he is the guidebook and the artist for the cards. And again, beautiful cards. I'm not going to show this too much because I think you've all seen it. It's done a lot of rounds. I think I have shuffled this. It's done a lot of rounds on the channels. I picked it up too. I picked it up around my birthday time, I think, or just after The Magician. I love anything that is landscape visually and actually less people. I'm not really a peoply person, even though I just showed you the Celtic Dragon. But you know, those to me are a little bit fairyish, so it's a bit different. They're a bit elfish to me, elvish. But yeah, elvish. It sounds strange. It sounds like Elvis. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, so that's why I like this deck because it feels very spaced and open and like a voyage, you know, like I'm going on a journey, and I love decks like that. I thought this would be good to use, I don't know, dip in and out through the year. I'm not sure how I'm going to use this deck, but I wanted to give it a try, so I picked it up. So favorite deck, number three. Deck that isn't usually your style, but you're vibing with it. Now, this is a new addition too, and I've been wanting this deck for a very long time. Kind of. I also want the Moon edition. Of course, it's Ethereal Visions, and I know there's a Lunar edition, I think it's called, which has some diversity, and I really wanted that deck too. I picked this one up because it was on sale, so I was like, okay, let's give this one a try. This, of course, is by Matt Hughes. I understand originally it was an indie deck. I have the US Games mass market version. This has already been shuffled. This is not my usual style, although I love Art Nouveau. I live in Brussels. I mean, Art Nouveau, hello, it's everywhere. But I mean, there's a house about 4 doors from me or 5 doors from me, and they have this beautiful Art Nouveau window. And sometimes I do find people standing there taking photos of it. It's very normal here that when people see beautiful Art Nouveau, they take photos. But there's even kind of like tour guides that go around some of the streets, you know, because of certain houses. But I picked this up and I thought, let's give it a try. And I actually am really vibing with it. It is beautiful. There's something about this energy which is very fresh, very clear. It reminds me of that Aquarian time, the Aquarian season. It's just a very breathable deck. That's what I'm starting to see. This deck has a lot of space in it. It reminds me a little bit of, is it the Aquarian Tarot? That one where, again, it's a lot of people's face up. And then there's also, I think, the Morgan Greer, which is a bit like that. It reminds me of those kind of like decks. But I still think this has its own uniqueness. The Art Nouveau style is, of course, very, you know, it's very specific. I love the gold gilding. One of the things I think US Games should have done, I'm sorry, I have to say this, is I personally think they should have gilded the sides and put some gilding on the back, because these backs are gorgeous. And I do feel a little bit like that's a, how can I say, it's an injustice to the deck to not have done that, because that's so, they could have just done some beautiful gilding there, like they've done with the Tarot. I think it's the Tarot of Mystical Moments. It has silver gilding and all of that. They could have done that with this deck, but still, you know, I do love it. I think I love the colors in this deck, these pastels. And I'm really looking forward to working with this one. It's not my usual aesthetic, but as I said, I'm vibing with it, definitely. Very fresh and clean. Okay, so the next deck that, the next prompt, sorry, is favorite deck pairing of the year. Now, this was like, yeah, I knew all of these deck pairings, by the way, could be favorites, to be quite honest with you. I mean, all the pairings I'm showing you. But this one I wanted to pick out and show you was, of course, when I worked with Lennox Reese's Peculiar Pathways Tarot. And this is an indie deck. And the thing that I really loved working with this deck when I did work with it is just, I mean, look at that beautiful edging, that matte green. I knew when I bought this deck that I would be working with the Woodlands Wardens Oracle by Jessica Rue. I love this deck. I picked it up for €9 as soon as it released. It was really, really a good price. And I love this deck. And I knew when I was buying Peculiar Pathways, I knew when I had the Coastal Curiosities that these kind of decks would go so well together. So, for example, we have the snake and the fan, you know, we have this transformation. And here I have, you know, this beautiful Two of Wands, and look at the beauty in these cards. Again, I will try to link the review below so I can remember to link it for you. I don't want to drop these cards off the table. Hold on here. Page of Coins, and here I have, let me see if I can do this. Page of Coins, and here of Deer and Healing. I think they go beautifully together. The other deck that I used with the Peculiar Pathways Tarot, which I do want to show you actually. It's an oracle that I absolutely, again, just adore. It's an indie oracle. Now I've got all of the decks by these creators, by Nicola. It's Layla and Olive, Nicola, yeah, it's Nicole, sorry, Nicole Rallis? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. This is the Pythia Botanical Oracle. I have volume 2 as well. This is volume 1. I don't know if one of them or both of them have gone out of print. I don't know. I think I have all of their decks now. I don't know if they've released anything recently, but I think I have 6 of their decks. I don't know if they've got more. Let's see. Queen of Coins, and here we have that beautiful. Let me just pick this up. Sorry. Begin Forever. Look how beautiful these are together. I mean, Lennox Reese's artwork is stunning. So I here have Lethe of the Heart, Barrage. I love Barrage, is so good for us when it comes to hair. By the way, I've been using that, and I think it's very healing. And here we have, of course, the Star card. Don't they look absolutely stunning together? That vintage style, I loved it. I'm so glad. You know, that I have these decks and I've been able to play with them. And, you know, sometimes I've had decks for years and then all of a sudden a new deck comes in, and the one that I've never used, that's been sitting there very patiently, quietly, never asking, never begging, never expecting anything from me, all of a sudden it comes to life. And that's how I feel with the Layla and Olive decks. They're all coming to life now. And they're very patient decks. That's how I see them, very patient. I personally think that they're worth every penny because I'm getting a lot out of them, and they're very rich. And even though that the guidebook is, maybe I'll do a separate video if I can on the Layla and Olive decks. How about that? That would be good. So anyway, that was working with the Peculiar Pathways Tarot and its pairings. I'm going to put those to the side now. Okay, so the next prompt is number 5, a divination accessory. Dice, journals, whatever. I always show you this, and I do it every year. It's, of course, my beloved journal. This year I used some very simple ones. I love my journals. I do very simple stuff in here. It's really nothing. Sometimes I don't really share my journals that much because I don't know, they're not really things, but I love doing little doodles in them every now and then, all that kind of stuff. I'm one of those people. I don't really do a lot of printing stickers out and all that because I just don't have the time. B, I don't have all the equipment. And even if I did, I think it would last for like 5 minutes before I'm bored of it or something. And then, I'm trying to be careful not adding more and more and more. We're just more using what I have. So yeah, I kind of like just use the pens and pencils I have, and I just do drawings in my own journals. Okay, prompt number 6, great card back. I'm not really into card backs. Oh, I know that sounds really awful to say it, but I'm not. And I'm just thinking, where did I put the deck to show you? Hold on one moment. So I did think of a deck to show you for this prompt, and it has promptly disappeared. The deck has disappeared. Oh no, it's there. See, I thought I took it off the shelf and then it went back onto the shelf. That's how much that works for me. I'm not really into the whole deck backs things. I know some artists spend a lot of time on it. I'm not saying that, but I just, I don't know why. I just don't pay attention enough. The deck that I am going to show you is, of course, one that I haven't spoken about too much, but I have done the review for, is the Nameless One. This is by Zia Hunt, Alexandria Hunt. She, of course, is the creator of the Children of Lethan, Children of Stara, both decks that I'd love to get. And I like this back so much because this is very, very simple. It's just a glyph and I love it. I just love that sigil. I love the simplicity of it. I love that she's got actually some kind of iridescent kind of, if you can see it, there's a pattern at the back, and it's maroonish. It's colors that I really love. I like very simple backs that are striking, but they're not overpowering. And for me, the Nameless One really hits that mark. So let me put that to the side as well. Need to put that to the back. Oh wow, there's a lot here. Hold on a moment, so I don't topple things over and knock things over. Okay, next prompt will be a deck with a theme that you like. That was very, another one that was kind of like, yeah, there's loads that have themes that I love. I'm going to show you the one that I used in 2025, which is the Tarot of Oneness by Robin Voici, I'm going to say. Of course, this is an indie deck. I know many of you know this deck. I just really love world themes. That's why I bought the Midscapes Tarot. I love themes where we're traveling and we're going somewhere. This deck is just so beautiful, just so pretty, beautiful. Again, gorgeous backs. I mean, these are beautiful backs too. Again, they're very simple. They're not overdone. There's this like, yeah, there's this kind of like, I don't know, I look like like I'm looking through some kind of a kaleidoscope or something like that. That's how it feels to me, these bubbles kind of thing. But just absolutely beautiful art. I mean, and again, each, I mean, just, you really get that feeling that, we're in the picture, we're in the card, we're up close and personal. It's such a gentle deck. And I feel like that feeling of those bubbles through the lens, like those little lights, when the light is catching it, there's something about it that I just find so beautiful and soft, engaging. That's the word I was looking for. It's an engaging deck. It's a deck that draws me in and says, come work with me, come discover something. And it's very gentle, again, as I said. This is a deck that I'd like to return to, especially if, when we're having those moments where we just don't feel so great. And it's like, yeah, I need something that acknowledges that I don't feel so great today. And I feel like this deck does that for me. So, yeah. I mean, was it this, I just saw I just knew I had to show you this card now that I've seen it again. I saw it at the bottom. It's the card that's actually imprinted into the bottom of the deck, but I'll try and find the card for you instead of showing you the box. It's at the bottom of the box, that's why as well. Hold on a moment if I can find it. I probably can't find it now. Now it's done disappearing out. Now it's going into, I've disappeared. I mean, just look at these cards. Just stunning. absolutely stunning. But this deck just feels like a great big, oh, there it is. It just feels like I'm wrapped up in that maternal nurturing energy, that very Gaia nurturing energy. And it's this is the Queen of Pentacles. That's her robe there. And she's looking down, and that bunny has completely surrendered to her. That bunny is just full of play and just wants to be picked up and hugged by her. And I just, oh, I mean, I love the Queen of Pentacles, but I just love that. I love the, you know, I just love how these these are like the kings. I just love that crown, and it's this huge crown. And I'll show you, you know, there's just something about the interplay between the element and the creatures. This is the Queen of Cups. I mean, and then you've got a stingray there. It's just so beautiful. You've got her feet peeking out below the robe. And there's just something about this deck that makes me smile. Here is the King of Cups. Oh, so anyway, I'm going to stop because you can see I'm clearly now just going to start going through the whole deck, which we don't need to do. Again, I will try to link the review for this deck in the cards so that you can go and have a look at the review if you're interested. So where there are reviews, I will try to link them. And that was the Tarot of Oneness. Let's put this to the back too. Okay, so now the next deck, the next prompt. Most beautiful deck this year. I think this was like, again, like, you know, which one do I pick? Because they're all beautiful. Like the Nameless One is beautiful. The Tarot of Oneness is beautiful. The Celtic Dragon, again, they're all beautiful. I'm going to put, like, in the aesthetic, you know, kind of like going all out there is, for me, the one by Claire Duval, Le Tarot Ethereal, the French deck with the artwork by Anna Turian. Just, again, beautifully done, not just the artwork, but the guidebook as well. So they come in really as top trumps again. I just realized that this is one of those decks that's a box in a box. So we've got a lot of boxes. Again, great backs. Now these, look at these backs. Just love the deck. Just look at the beauty of this deck. And gilding, just done so well. I'll show you the pairing because this is one of my favorite oracles of all time. It gets used every year. It's not the Sacred Creators, even though that is also one of my favorites. But this oracle comes out every year, at least once a year, if not twice a year. And that is the Botanical Inspirations. It's by Lynn Arojo, I think it is how we pronounce her name. The cards themselves are by a Flemish artist, and I can't remember his name now. I need to go and find him again. It is a Flemish artist from the 19th century, as I recall. If I can find his name, that would be good, but I'm pretty sure I've lost it. By the way, Flemish artist as in Belgium, because Flanders is in Belgium. But it's his artwork. And I can't find the name of the artist, I'm sorry. I'm just going to go see if I can find again at the back. I'm sure that there is information. It's just that I can't find it at this moment, the name of the artist. But let me show you some of the pairings. This is a beautiful deck. I think already I know a deck that I want to use this spring because this will come out as its accompanying oracle, one of its accompanying oracles. So here's the High Priestess, and here we have Tulip, Friendship and Gratitude. It's just beautiful, the pairing. It's just, yeah, I feel like I can never go wrong with this deck. The Magician and Gladiola, Strength and Character, Moral Integrity. Look at that, that's gorgeous pairings. Let's jump forward a bit here with the cards, see what we get here. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups, and here's Snapdragon, Graciousness and Benevolence. I just think it's beautiful pairings. And yeah, and this oracle deck is one of those oracle decks where I wouldn't mind actually having a second copy. And so it's kind of like, you know, I have a backup, and yeah, I just love using it so much that I'm sure I wouldn't mind having like a travel version if they did it in a tin. US Games, if you did this in a tin, I would like to buy it. I don't know if that's a big enough hint for you, US Games. But yeah, I really, really love that Botanical. And I think the Ethereal is perfect with so many decks. I mean, with so many oracles. So I'm trying to grapple to get it back in. And let's keep going. Okay, so the next prompt is, let me put this to the back. Number 9, deck you wish existed. I wish Baba Rock did another deck, a brand new deck. I know they're not going to do it, I know, but I would love to. I also want some of their decks that I didn't purchase. One of them, which I had the opportunity and I didn't purchase it, and that's my mistake, is, now the name's gone from my head. It's the one with all the animals. The name's gone from my head all of a sudden. They've also done one called not Mythical Creatures, something like that. They've done so many that I want to get. I know that they're doing a reprint of the Alice deck, which I will get. I do have the Tarot of Prague, of course. But if they did a whole nother, and I've purchased already their latest Baroque Cat deck, but if they just did a whole nother deck, I would still love that. Yeah, I know it's not going to happen, but there you go. Which card sums up this year as a whole, or card whose energy you want to bring in? This is great. So the deck that I pulled out to show you this is again another deck that I use, so I will link the review, is Beautiful Creatures Tarot. This is of course J.R. Rivera as the guidebook writer, and of course Jasmine Beckett Griffith as the artist. I smiled because I actually decided to pick up this deck and I thought, yeah, I'm going to pick a couple of cards from there. There's a few cards that I actually chose, but then I thought, no, these are the ones that I'll primarily show you. I think I want to bring with me into this year the Queen of Wands energy. It says here determination. I love that. And I have a Sagittarius moon, and I really, sometimes I understand that fieriness. But yeah, this is an energy that I would like to bring with me, bring into 2026. There comes the fire engine. I said fire up, and there we go. There's a fire engine. And then the other card that I picked from this beautiful deck is the Six of Cups here. It says memories, and I think that's a gorgeous card. And you might think, why would I want to bring the past in? And I actually mean this as a representation of making new memories and making new occasions, events, things that I will look back on in my older years and really appreciate the way I am with certain events now. I want to make new memories. So it's a Six of Cups, but it's a case of creating that space so that there is more nostalgia in a way to come, more appreciation to come. And I just find that these two cards are just so beautiful, and they really sum up. And I love the dragons here, like the seahorses. It's not dragons, it's seahorses. But again, there's a theme of creatures this year that really has popped out. And yeah, I really loved these cards, so I thought I would show you them. And then finally, okay, so this is why I was really eager to do this tag, which is pulling the card for next year. Now, I've done this every year. This year, I'm going to use another deck. I usually use the Light Seers. I was going to use the Light Seers again, but something keeps saying to me, no, there's another deck that I need to use. I'm going to use this year, for the first time ever, the Wandering Star Tarot. I love this deck. I think it's beautiful. But this is the interesting thing. I'm not just going to pull a card from here, but we're going to go with it first of all. So let's see what card I get from the Wandering Star Tarot as my card of the year going forward. Okay, give it a good shuffle. I'm like telling the heavens, please give me something, give me a good one to go on for 2026. I've already got also the Queen of Wands coming with me, and of course the Six of Cups to make beautiful new memories. I'm bringing them with me as well. the Queen of Cups, sorry, the Queen of Wands. Okay, so give it a bit of shuffle. You can't see me shuffle, but there you go. There you go. I'm shuffling away. So it's not like I'm pre-picking anything. Okay. Okay, pick. What do I have here? Okay, there's one coming out. And what do we have here? It's the King of Swords. And I now need to show you something else, because that's just unbelievable that I've just picked the King of Swords, because now bear with me. So that's the energy that's coming with me into 20. Well, that's my card of the year. Hold on one moment. I'll be quick. So the card that I pulled for today's oracle card, today's tarot card, was the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, I'll just get that as well, actually, while I'm here. This is from the Witch Sister Tarot. This is on the 31st of December. This is the card that I pulled for 31st December. And the oracle card that I pulled was from the magical Botanical oracle, the one by Christopher Penzas and Maxine Miller. And this is the oracle card that I pulled, which is the Holly King. And it says here, Lex Aquafolium, I think that's what it says there. And when I looked at this, immediately I saw the Holly King, the Holly King, who is born in the summer, and he's realized in the winter solstice. He's born in the summer solstice. In the winter solstice, we give birth to the Oak King. So this is when he's being at his magnificence, is right now in the winter. And immediately what came to my mind was King of Swords. And it's just unbelievable that those were the ones that came up. So yeah, I'm quite happy to see that, actually. That's a good card. And knowing my astrology for this year, my transits for this year, I'm like, yep, that makes a lot of sense. Where the transits are falling, actually, I should say. Okay, so I've just put that to the side because a little bit extra, bear with me, stay with me if you've been this far. I wanted to pull a card. I know I've got quite a few decks here, so you're going to have to just bear with me. From the Caroline Myss Archetypes cards deck. Now, I have never used this deck before. I literally just took off the cellophane before this video because I want to use it. Because I want to pull a card from here to take with me into next year. There'll also be a card that I'm going to pull off camera, but for the camera stuff, I want to pull one from here. Okay. See what we get. So, I don't know. I was just intrigued to add. Can't help it. Why not? Okay. So, what do we get here? What do I have here? Networker. Light attributes enhances unity through the sharing of information and engenders social awareness and empathy. Shadow attributes conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. Ooh, I've got to be careful there. So I've got the King of Swords and I've got Networker. They vibe. They really vibe. Interesting. So I was going to pull from one deck, but I think something tells me no. I think I need to do something else. So bear with me. I keep popping up and down. If you've been with me this far, thank you. Just stay a little bit longer. Yep. Animal Apothecary by Cara Elizabeth. Something said use this, and then I'd picked another, and now already the voice has come back saying, no, I want you to use this. So giving it a bit of a shuffle. Okay. Okay, what do we get here? Oh, I've already just recently picked this card. I can't believe it's come back again. Yeah, let go, bury. This is all about transformation. This is a scorpion fly. So I've got a lot of transformation energy coming through now. And I literally just picked this card for another reading. So that means if it's come up twice, it's very clear that it wants to be seen. I can't believe that just came up again. I was like, okay. I thought I'd get something else, but no. And then this is the final pull. You've been with me this far, stick with me. And I'm looking at the Sunflower Plant Spirit Oracle. See, this is why I just love using the decks that I have. I just love going back to what I already have and I've loved and experienced. Give this a quick shuffle. I won't take up more of your time here. I'll try to be quick. Okay, let's just pick something. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, there we go. Daffodil Perception. These magnificent heralds of spring are literally trumpeting the joy and freedom of learning to be yourself. Daffodil wants you to see the light, to perceive the beauty and perfection, wholeness that is you, just as you are. Beauty and perfection, wholeness that is you, just as you are. Sorry. It is time to release any self-doubt and revel in the freedom and weightlessness of endless possibilities. What was really interesting was when I was doing the pick for the energies that I want to bring with me from the Beautiful Creatures Tarot, when I was doing the pick from this deck of cards, I've got so much on here, I'm trying not to now have things topple down. Another card that I thought of picking and bringing forward with me, and I thought, no, it'll be too much if I pick that too, is, where is it? See, now it's going to do its own disappearing act. The one thing I don't like about this deck, I'm going to have to say this, is the box of the Beautiful Creatures. It's one of those 2-box things, and it just makes handling them just not fun. Here it is. This was another card that I thought about picking through, and it says here, the hanging one, it says perception. And I thought about adding this to the what energies you want to bring. And it was like the hanged person in perception, change your perception. So in a way, it's come back again. It's saying, no, you should have taken me in this lot. And so I'm just going to end there and say that I've got a really good classic selection here, a really good set of cards to work with now. Here, this is about letting go, burying, knowing when we're done with something and using that as a cutoff point. That's what this was about. When I read it recently for another reading, which is why I know this card so well. Really looking forward to working with this, which is networking, which is about getting out there, along with that King of Swords energy. So, you know, he's a leader, but he's not going to be sitting there on his own. Very airy. Both of these are very air-driven. And I have a very strong Gemini placement so in my chart. So this is really interesting where the transits are moving this year. So I've got some really great cards to work with this year, and I'm really happy to see that. A lot of useful stuff, and I think the Holly King has said take me with you as well. So I'll be taking this one with me as well. So I'm going to stop there. Thank you for joining me on this one. Very long one, but I really love doing it. I hope you enjoyed this. I will be seeing you all very soon. Until then, have a wonderful start to 2026, wherever you are. Wishing you lots of love and take care now. Bye.